Good morning. Welcome back to Simply Home and Harvest. It's a beautiful Monday here on the homestead and lots to get done. I'm Jen. On this channel, we spend lots of time in the kitchen, in the garden, decorating the home, doing some DIY, that's not right, DIY projects around our homestead. And today I'm going to take you along with me as we get ready for some time away. We are so excited to get away for a few days. We've been very busy this summer, as you know, and so we're going to take a few days off as a family and get out of town for a little while. By the time you see this video, we will probably already be back and into our normal routine. But as for today, we're excited about what the week holds for us. So we have a lot to get done around here. I've got some flowers and vegetables to tend to. I'm gonna deadhead some roses before we go, get some things cleaned up. I've got some weeds to get out. I've got some okra, some peppers, maybe something else to harvest before we go, and then get some things prepped and preserved and put away so that we don't come home to rotten fruit and vegetables. We also have some bananas to get taken care of, whether that's freezing them or making some muffins for breakfast or something. And then also I want to share with you a family favorite recipe for some fall, we call it fall snack mix, but I make it every fall. We take it on vacation or we take it on trips during the fall. And so I'm going to get that made and I'll show you how I do that. And then just some other odds and ends. I'm heading down first though to check on our chickens. Alex hollered for me earlier and said that one of our chickens has a little bit of a bloody nose. And last week, it's been about a week now, she had a collision with the fence. She got spooked by another animal, and they were in their run, but just seeing that animal spooked her, and she flew straight into the fence and scratched, we said her nose, but right above her beak. So that healed, it looked good, but he says that he's seeing a little bit of blood there again this morning, so I want to check her out, make sure everybody's good before we take off. Oh yeah, so I think what happened was, I think the scab just broke open.
So you see?
I don't have a big piece of grass, but yeah, I think the scab's just...
It looked worse than that.
Oh yeah, it looked open a little bit.
It looked worse than that earlier.
It's healing, but she must have bumped it again. Rosemary, let's see your nose. Girlfriend, we gotta get some medicine on that.
Do you want some of this?
I came out this morning to the prettiest flowers over here. Is there some type of wildflower? And for the longest time, all of this was blooming and it was green and it really looked like deal. And then it started looking like just a weed of some sort, and it might still be. But now that it's flowering, it's very pretty. I just kind of left it alone and just to see what would happen to it. So if you know, you can tell me what kind of flower this is. But anyway, just thought it was a pretty sight to walk out to. There's some brighter pink ones down there. Very pretty. Broccoli is looking really good. I see a head starting to form. So that's really exciting. Maybe when we get back from our trip, we'll have a small head of broccoli already forming, but they look really good. I do need to get in here and get some weeds out. That's on my list of things to do before we leave. We'll see if that gets accomplished or not. There's our cauliflower. Everything's looking good. And then over here, this is where we grew spinach. And I think all we're growing right now is grass. I don't want to get in here and pull too much just because if there is some spinach growing, I'll pull it up with the grass. So I may just have to let that go and get around it. That's something right there growing. I need to look up and see what the spinach sprouts look like. It's been a while since I grew it, and so I really need to pay attention so I don't pull those up. Cabbage is looking pretty good. That's starting to do something there in the middle. So hopefully pretty soon we'll have some heads of cabbage. And then our carrots over here, I see a few carrots popping up. They take a little bit longer. There's some there. Oh, here's a good size one there. Oh yeah, I see more. So that's encouraging. And then our radishes, they look great. since we thinned those out, they're really starting, look at this one, really starting to come out. Awesome. Oh, look, you can see down in the bottom, you can see the radish already starting to form there. Excellent. See more lettuce popping up, so that's encouraging as well. That means maybe we'll get some heads of lettuce this fall. That'll be nice. I have really enjoyed having the lettuce. Oh yeah, there's more. There's another one. And I've hated to have to go to the grocery store to buy it. So this is very exciting. Oh, I see another one down here. Awesome. Some peppers to pick. I thought I saw a few. Yeah, there's several down here. Look at that. Oh yeah, we'll get all those picked. And then of course, we have okra growing on our tree here, our okra trees. So we'll get all that harvested and then we'll be ready to roll. A little treat. That part of our pumpkin vine, and it had lots of squash bugs on it. So the pumpkins, I mean, that's it. The pumpkins are done for, and that vine had dried up. So they're having fun playing with that. And I got a few other things out in the garden. Let me show you. All right, I made it back up to the shade and the deck. Just wanted to show you what I picked up in the garden today. I went ahead and picked some of these pretty zinnias and these little pink flowers. Thought I would clean those up and get them in a vase inside so we can enjoy some of those in the kitchen for the next couple of days. Then we also got some good sized peppers. So I did go ahead and get lots of okra out, tons of okra, plus what we have inside to preserve. And then I picked our green tomatoes. This is all of the Roma tomatoes that we had that were good size. I went ahead and got those off the vine. They haven't started to turn red yet, and I've been looking at them like this for weeks. What's happening is when they do start to turn red, they're rotten or something's getting into them. So I went ahead, rescued them off the vine, and even though they're green, I'm going to go and see if there's a recipe that we can use these for. Maybe salsa verde. It wouldn't be a lot of it, but maybe enough to get maybe 1 or 2 jars out of, or maybe I can find a tomato pie recipe or something. Not fried green tomatoes. Y'all know if you've watched past videos that I don't really like fried green tomatoes, so I won't do that with them, but we'll just see if we can preserve those before we leave. And yeah, not too bad. Good haul for today. So that's today's harvest plus the harvest from a few days ago that we need to do something with today. You see that we're going to be busy here in a little bit, but first I've got a phone call to take, so I'm going to take a little break. All right, had a little break, enjoyed catching up with my cousin through FaceTime, and now I am going to get back to work. I do want to get some of my plants taken care of before we leave and some of these weeds taken care of. So we'll just see how far we get. There's a nice breeze blowing. It's a beautiful day, but I don't want to spend all my time out here doing this because I do need to get some laundry done and pack. So we'll just see what we can get accomplished in like 45 minutes, and then we'll be done with it, and we'll just have to call it good. Oh, and back to the chicken. I think she's okay. I'm gonna get Tim to look at her when he gets home tonight, and we'll see if we need to put some antibiotic ointment on her or something. I think she probably just bumped that scab again, and it wasn't really bleeding. It just looked like it just hasn't healed completely. So we'll see what he says, but I think she's gonna be fine. So just a little side note here. It's been a long time since I let my roses go this long without deadheading them. And normally I would carry a bucket with me and probably catch all of these, but as you'll see here in a moment, there are so many spider webs covering my roses. And so it just seemed like a better idea just to let the dead parts fall where they may. And I think, eventually they'll work their way down to the ground. But you'll see right here, it's just the spider webs were so thick, I knew I would be tore all to pieces if I was trying to put my hands down in there and get all the dead parts. So doing what we can to make it look pretty, and we'll just have to do better from here on out. Okay, so technically I have run out of time to weed, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the timer for like 5 minutes, and I'm just gonna see what weeds I can get out of here in 5 minutes, because I've got to get inside, I've got some cleaning to do, I've got those vegetables to get processed, and even though it's important for me to come home to a garden that has been weeded, it's also important for me to come home to a clean house and vegetables that aren't rotten and flowers that aren't dead because I didn't water them. So other things are more important. That's what I'm telling myself. So I got 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so because spinach, I looked it up, looks a lot like grass when it's coming up, I'm not gonna weed any of this. This is where all our spinach is planted, and I believe that's the spinach. And there's one, I think. So I'm gonna leave this area alone. So we're just gonna tackle this row, and maybe on the other side over there. And I think then we'll call it a day. We did it. It's not much, but it's what we had time for. It actually makes me feel a lot better to know that I got up a lot of the weeds that were around the broccoli and the cabbage, and even got some of the bottom leaves. So I'm gonna carry these girls a nice little treat. They're getting spoiled for the next couple of days since we won't be with them for a few days. We'll just go ahead and spoil them real good. For your love. Eat your veggies. All right, so this is what we've got to process. Unfortunately, some of them I didn't get to in time. And so I'm gonna pass these on to the chickens. And then there's also a green pepper in there that I'll let them have. But I'm going to get all this okra cut up. We're gonna freeze some, and then we might fry up some for dinner. And then I've got some green peppers here. I think I'm going to cut up and freeze all of these. And after doing some research on the green tomatoes, I'm just gonna go ahead and store them for maybe another week or so until I can get to them, and then we'll use them in a recipe. But they should keep in a cool place. I mean, they're not ripe yet, so they're not gonna go bad. So while I was cutting up all this okra, I got a taste for fried okra. So I kept out just a little bit. I'm going to fry this up for dinner for tonight. And I didn't have any buttermilk, so I'm making my own. And this is just regular milk. I had 2% milk in the fridge, and I added some vinegar to it, and you can see it's already curdling. And so it's probably, oh yeah, it's probably ready to go. So I'm going to, while I'm waiting on my oil to heat up on the stove, I'm going to go ahead and get all of these peppers chopped up, and I think I'm going to dice them and then get them into freezer bags. Got my fried okra here. Took a break to get that fried up. So now we're going to get all these chopped up. Day. It's the next day. I'm getting my canisters refilled with sugar and oats and chocolate chips. It's a busy morning around here. I've got banana chocolate chip muffins in the oven as we speak because I had some bananas that we needed to get rid of before we left, and I thought that would be a good way to put them to use. I have a video with that recipe, so I'll link that down below if you're interested in those muffins. So I just raided the pantry for this cookie recipe that I'm going to share with you, and all you need is peanut butter, oats, chocolate chips, and then a couple of mashed up bananas, and it is a delicious gluten-free cookie. I cannot wait to share this with you. This board is bugging me right here. I had my summer picture up with the bike. I'm gonna have to find something to put over this dry erase board. We do use it sometimes for school, but here's the deal. It's stuck. Like, I was trying to pull it apart. I use those command strips. They're supposed to, you know, just peel off the wall real easy without taking the paint off. At least not that one. And I went to try to pull it away, and it started pulling off the paint and the drywall and everything. So I put it back and got a picture to put over top of it. So now I've got to find a picture that maybe I can keep up year round, and not a seasonal one to switch out for the seasons, but maybe just something that looks good right there. So I'm gonna have to think on that. Maybe while we're out of town can find something to go there. But anyway, I was just chasing a squirrel on that one. That was a side note. Let's get back to what we really are here for today. Such a hurry to get our delicious breakfast eaten that part of it got away from Ella. So, but they do look yummy. Here's a good look at a couple that didn't hit the floor. They really are delicious. But again, I'll link that recipe below for you. You know what else is delicious? Oh, this French pressed coffee. Yum, yum. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our banana oatmeal cookies. We're gonna need 2 cups of oats. I'm using old-fashioned oats. I think you could probably use quick cooking oats. Either one would be fine. And I've got a 1/4 cup scoop, so that's gonna be 8 of these. So for this recipe, you'll need 2 bananas mashed. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get these mashed up with a fork. These were some of the ones that we needed to get rid of. So they're soft and they were really brown. The browner the banana, the better for these recipes, because that makes for a sweeter banana, and that'll give your cookies that really good sweetness that you want. So that's what it's gonna look like once you get that mashed up. Here I go, here I go, here I go again. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our banana oatmeal cookies. And what we're gonna need is our 2 cups. We're gonna need 2 cups of oats. I'm using old-fashioned oats. I think you could probably use quick cooking oats. Either one would be fine. And I've got a 1/4 cup scoop, so that's gonna be 8 of these. All right. Now what I probably could have done is gotten my bananas mashed up first, but it doesn't matter. We'll get it done. So I went ahead and reserved about a 1.5. I'm not even gonna say that. So for this recipe, you'll need 2 bananas mashed. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get these mashed up with a fork. These were some of the ones that we needed to get rid of. So they're soft and they were really brown. The browner the banana, the better for these recipes, because that makes for a sweeter banana, and that'll give your cookies that really good sweetness that you want. So we're just gonna get this mashed up to really like a pudding-like, or I don't know, I've heard it referred to like a baby food type consistency. But that's what it's gonna look like once you get that mashed up. This is very simple. And all we're gonna do is just add that into our oatmeal mixture. Next, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And instead of chocolate chips, you could totally add raisins, cranberries, any kind of dried fruit like that. But I know that chocolate chips will go over well in this house. And then to this, we're just going to add in our chocolate chips, about 1/3 of a cup, or whatever your preference is. I'm using dark chocolate chips today, but the semi-sweet will work just fine. Like I mentioned earlier, these will be gluten-free cookies. All right, now we're just gonna get our cookies onto our parchment lined baking sheet. And I'm using a small scoop, but you could use teaspoons if you'd like. And what we're gonna do is we're going to just form our cookie and shape it, because as these bake, they will not spread. So however they go on this pan is how they're gonna come out. This fall mix, well, I call it fall mix, but that's only because I'm gonna add candy corn in here. Sometimes I add candy pumpkin, but really this is just a snack mix. You can add whatever it is that you or your family likes. But today I'm going to add Chex Mix. I got some of these milk chocolate M&Ms that are the Ghouls mix, so just some fall colors there. And then I'm also going to do a bag of peanut butter M&Ms for my family's request. And then we've got candy corn. Sometimes I do the candy corn and the candy pumpkin mix, but this is what I've got today. And then I'm gonna add unsalted peanuts to this just because of the snack mix. That way we won't have so much salt. Now, like I said, you can totally add whatever you want to this. In the past, I have added raisins. You can leave out certain things if you want to. You could leave out your Chex Mix and just add pretzels. You could add in almonds and dried fruits and leave out the candy corn. You know, you can make it however you want, but all we're gonna do is just dump it all in here. But this is a little bit more on the Halloween side, I guess, than fall. But it used to be that I could get like the yellows, the colors of the candy corn. That's what I used to be able to get in the M&Ms. So, I don't know, I guess they change things up every year, and then I'll just put the whole thing in there. And that's the hardest part. I'm gonna stir it up. And there we have it. And we'll have a ton of this. I mean, we can't possibly eat all this on our vacation. Well, maybe we can, I don't know, but last year my parents came and my brother and sister-in-law, so I had more families to share the snack mix with. The way I got started making this is I used to make this every year for our mom time retreat, and I would put it in little clear cellophane bags and just tie a fall ribbon on it. Sometimes I would attach scripture to it or a little note, and it just became a tradition, and everybody always asks me to make it, but seriously, it's that simple. So a fun little snack mix that you can make for your people. All right, we're all set. Got our snack mix bagged up, cookies in our to-go container. Now all that's left to do is pack, and we can hit the road. I want to show you guys this as I sign off. This is a house plant that I've been growing for the last few months. I actually started this one, well, it was a tiny plant when I got it, but I've let it grow out quite a bit. It's by this window here, and I decided that I was going to propagate it. So let me show you what I've done. So I cut a couple of clippings off of the plant, and I have these mason jars that you actually put your straw down in there, but I thought they would work. I don't have those little test tube things that all the people on TikTok use, but I went ahead and just cut off 2 stems, and I've got them down in water. Just as long as the stem is down in the water, it's supposed to produce a root in about 2 or 3 weeks, and then when that happens, we can plant it in its own pot and we'll grow another plant like the mother plant. So I'm really excited to try this. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while now. And so I got brave enough to try it. I will keep you posted and let you know how it goes. All right, guys. Well, this day is getting away from me, so I better actually go and start packing and get ready for this trip. If I don't, tomorrow morning's going to come. I'm not going to be ready to go, and Tim's going to want to know what I've been doing with my time, and I'll have to tell him I was propagating plants and making snack mix and cleaning the house, and he's going to say, why weren't you packing? So, until next time, remember to live simply, use what you have, and enjoy the moments you've been given. Bye, friends.